Hello, guys. I'm probably going to title this one Interior Decorating. All right. Now, that's a metaphor for going within, all right, allowing the external world to point us inside to show us what it is that we're still hanging on to. Now, a lot of us are still hanging on to things from many lifetimes, which is normal, all right, because we have, I like to call them implants. They're implants that keep us, that put a cap on what we're able to achieve spiritually. And these implants or programs, whatever you choose to call it, all right, they've been with us for eons. Let's say you've had a lifetime where you were a man who needed to provide for his family, all right, and this can apply to you whether you're a woman or man because we've been everything. You were a man who needed to provide for your family, and if you didn't, you guys would end up on the street. All right, you were in an older energy. All right, back then was a different format of reality, so it was a different game that you played in. All right, that your soul chose to play in, but it was still a different game with a different energy, a different consciousness. So, if you couldn't provide for your family, you guys would end up homeless. Now, that would mean that you were always in fight or flight mode. So you built up this survival mechanism, you developed a survival mechanism, and your entire life was driven, underlyingly driven by fear. And just so you know, you guys, when I talk about past lives, I don't really subscribe to that anymore because when we reach a multidimensional awareness, we come to the realization that all lives are happening simultaneously. There is no separation. Now, what's pretty cool about that, all right, and I'll circle back into what I was talking about earlier. What's pretty cool about that is that when you're healing yourself right now, you're actually beaming your light to that past life and you're helping them heal. This is a download that I got last week as I was driving home from the gym. Let's say you were someone who was anorexic, okay, and you had a really hard time overcoming the illness. What you would probably do is go ahead and in your next incarnation choose a different set of circumstances, a different body. Maybe you'd come in more voluptuous and curvy, and you would have zero interest in overly exercising. And loving yourself in that body would actually send out light to the concurrent life, the alternate reality self that experienced anorexia. And so through that, the anorexic you that you once were would start to heal herself based on what you do here. I know it's kind of a multidimensional concept, but that's it. All right, so going back to the man who had to provide for his family, well, he was always in fight or flight mode, okay? When he becomes incarnate in this reality, then he's still going to carry over into this reality some of those issues. All right? So then it would be a matter of him really going inside and clearing out those files, those implants. I got a download years ago that I was able to remotely view into my body and find every implant that was keeping me at a lower frequency, that was actually keeping me from merging with my higher self. And I would go into meditation every day, and like the Pillsbury, I would go, woohoo! And I would find where it is that I still hold resistance or thoughts of limitation, and I would breathe into it and imagine that it was like a dense energy, like an ice cube. And as I would breathe into the ice cube, it would melt the implant away. It would deactivate the implant. And you can do this yourself. You don't have to wait for something physical to happen to show you that you still carry resistance. You can just go within and imagine that you're Pillsbury and you're like, woohoo, whoa. And you trigger yourself through your imagination. Oh, what if I had to spend money right now? Oh, and you feel a contraction. Oh, what if this person held me and asked me to sleep over? Oh, I would contract. And you go into those crevices of your energy field, all the nooks and the crannies, and you find the implants that are there. And then you can remove them yourself. What was that game we used to play as kids? I think it was Doctor Operation. Remember that? Where you had like a pair of tweezers and you had to go in and pull out whatever was in the body. So that's the imagery I'm getting right now. This video is to kind of help you remember that you need to be the interior designer of your life. Okay? Every single thing that you experience outside of yourself correlates to something that's going on within you. So if you have an implant in your body, that's going to show up in your reality so that you can be pointed inwardly, go find it and remove it. Sometimes you'll be called to remove it through actions. When you're dealing with things like money or fear, a lot of it has to do with taking actions towards your freedom. Because when you're dealing with the lower chakras, they're on a lower density, so you actually have to take physical action to prove that you're not afraid. So if you're still holding back and living in lack with money, then the way to free yourself is to spend it, to take a friend out, to show that you're of service, to show that you're not afraid, to counteract the fear. Okay? And there will be times where you have more of, you can call them psychic implants, where you're not able to see into other dimensions, whatever. You have to go in and remove them yourself. It's more metaphysical or esoteric in nature. Now, your external world, your external physical reality world, is simply a response and a reflection of what you still hold in your body. If you can grasp this concept, this is the code to remembering your multidimensional self, to vibrating into the highest realities, to expanding your consciousness to where you become the universe. Whenever you feel resistance towards something or your body compresses, it means that you're still a slave to a particular program that you're running. I know this is profound, you guys, but oh man, I have so much to share. All right, so the programs that you hold in your body, just like that man who had to provide for his family, and he now holds the program of fear of survival. All right, we don't want to judge the programs because we were swimming in an older ocean before. We were caught in an older energy, so we had to work with what we had. Okay? If you have a lifetime where you're being abused or bullied by your family, then you have to protect yourself. All right? Because it's pretty traumatizing, and then that in a way lodges a program in your body, a program of distrust, a program I'm not safe in the world because my family is there and they pick on me all the time. And then you would come back in this life and then that would be shown to you. Okay? We have to also remember that everything that we experience is ours. Everything. Okay? So if we can hold ourselves responsible for everything that we attract, then we automatically and instantaneously remove those implants. So going back to the external world, when you go out into your day, you're actually stepping into a hologram. Your mind, your third eye, is a projector. So it's gonna, all right, I just got this, it's amazing. All of your lifetimes that are all happening at the same time, they're projecting through and out of your third eye, and your reality is the screen. So when you step out into your world, you're really just stepping out to come into more unity within yourself, because things are going to be shown to you that still have you in separation consciousness. When we judge, if you're judging someone that's very confident on the street, that external reality is showing you that you still hold separation in your body. Those implants keep us separate from the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are is that we are unified. We are whole from inside. All of us, we're all divine. So for me, when I'm working with things or with energies or frequencies that are still trapped in my body, I never judge the experience, ever. Because the truth of who I am is I'm divine. And if I've unconsciously made agreements with limiting belief systems, or limiting belief systems impose themselves on me and enslaved me, however you want to look at it, I will never judge the experience because I don't see it as me. I see myself as divine, and I happen to adopt something that wasn't mine. But at the same time, it's mine because I have to hold myself responsible for having made that agreement. All right. So when I speak, there's so much going on. There's so many layers to this, but I just want to say it's yours, but it's not really yours. There are circumstances that you had to deal with in another life or in this life, whatever, and you adopted a particular belief system to survive. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, we need to become interior decorators. That's my new thing. We're spiritual interior designers. Whenever something out there doesn't feel good, we can't go out there and fix it because then we're just in the illusion. You can't fix something that's illusory. You actually have to go inside and readjust and recode and reconfigure your house, which is your body, which is your soul, which is your mind, which is all those things. You have to go within. If this is a kind of a metaphor I've used with clients before, if I walk out of the same house as you at the same time and we take the exact same trajectory, are we going to attract the same experience? No, we're not. Why? We're not because even though we're taking the same trajectory and we're leaving from the same place and going to the same destination, I hold a different programming than you might hold, and you hold a different programming than me. And so based on that alone, we're going to attract completely different experiences. A dog that barks on the street may not affect you, but it may affect me. That dog in that moment is a sound. Sound is very powerful. And I don't even know why I'm using this example, but whatever. That dog would be a catalyst for something that's still trapped in my body. Okay? So in that moment, I could either point the finger or get mad and try to go fix it in my outer reality, or I can recognize that that dog is my internal reality. It's vibrationally matching up to a frequency that has me enslaved, that has me riled up, and that's ruffling my feathers. So in that moment, I can breathe through it and melt the implant. All right? So these implants are gonna, in a way, put a cap on your psychic abilities. They're gonna put a cap on your extrasensory perception. Who you really are is that you're multidimensional. Who you really are is that you can shift in and out of realities on command. That you can literally, I came up with this week, you're a spiritual grasshopper. You can quantum hop into all these other amazing timelines at will. That's who you are. The stuff that you hold in your body is separation. It's what's kept you from remembering that full spectrum of your abilities and who you know yourself to be deep down. All right? You're an X-Man. You are Spider-Man if you want to be. You're Wonder Woman if you want to be. You're all these amazing things. What we're responsible for on this planet, and I'm telling you, this is the key code. If you get this, you're golden. If we can go inside when we're wanting to go outside, then we're not actually going to find the solution. We have to go inside. The solution is in here. I've never approached my life from the outside in. It's always been inside out. I have a fear around money. Let's go inside. I have a fear. I might still complain about some things or play the victim. Let's go inside. As you start to declutter your garage, as you start to rearrange those amazing rooms in your house and make them beautiful again so that there's feng shui there, so that the energy can flow again, new realities, new cosmos, new universes will emerge from the depth of your soul and will create for you. It will bloom like a flower and create your external reality for you. That's because your internal reality will be different than it was before. All right? It will be upgraded. It will be the expanded version, the ascended version. And then once you hold that new reality inside, less limitation, less judgment, less separation, less all of that. then that's going to start to transmit outwardly, like Batman in the sky. It's going to start to project outwardly, and that's the world you're going to step into every day. So, in a nutshell, heaven is here right now. And you are heaven. But the thing is, along the way, you unconsciously or subconsciously made agreements that would keep this reality real. The third dimension had to be real. It had to be like a game that we thought was real. We descended from ascended places. Most of you watching right now are starseeds. I know this because I don't attract other people. I attract people who have a calling in this field. Most of you have descended through the spiral of time and space, through the birth canal of your mom. You've descended into a game, simulation, that seemed so real, so that you can eventually find the key ingredient to reascending and respiraling upward to your higher self, bringing the higher self down and experiencing this reality as your higher self. That's why you're here. All right? Another vision I got a while ago, this is a laboratory. Planet Earth is an experiment. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Divergent. We're all like these little rats, even though we're not. We're beautiful. We're all these little rats, and they want to see who's the divergent one, who's not going to belong to any limiting belief, who's going to find their own way and forge their own path, who's going to blaze their own trail. And you have that capability. We all do. All of us have that capability. And it's time to start recollecting all that we were. Pulling knowledge from our Akashic records. Clearing the stuff in our Akash that doesn't need to be there. The belief systems, the perceptions. All those things hold your reality in place. That's what they do. They solidify your reality. We want to liquefy our reality by removing all that density that's stuck in our bodies. And then opening up our spiritual sight, our spiritual vision to the heaven that is. It's already upon us. And you guys are guardians of the new earth. And that's why you're watching this video. You're guardians. So thank you for watching. Be an amazing interior designer. You will never find the fix outside. It's always inside. We can't put a sparkly little band-aid on our situation. We actually have to go in, right? And clear it and heal it ourselves. So if you feel inspired to, please share this video. Please subscribe. I'm really excited to be on YouTube. I had a lot of resistance for a long time to get on this platform. And I see resistance as a red light, like Phil, pump the brakes, it's not time yet. So I honored that. And now I'm here. Who knows where I'll be next? Doesn't matter. It's all about the journey, right? Love you guys.